Okay, welcome back to another episode of When Does the Fuckery End? We're sitting here with Matt Cutler and, of course, Kyle Laramie, my co-host. We're going to start this off like we usually do with a shot of Screwball, so everybody say hello.
Hey, looking forward to it.
Hey, maybe one day they'll pay us to drink that.
Oh, hopefully.
Oh,
That's good. So
it is good.
I got to tell you something. I broke my fast with you guys today. I've been not eating anything for 3 days straight.
What are you,
And
Muslim?
I decided to do a cleanse.
Is it Ramadan?
No, I just decided to do a cleanse. 3 days. This is the first thing I've had besides water in 3 days.
I think that's what the doctors say. If you're going to break a fast, use
alcohol.
use peanut butter schnapps or peanut butter whiskey.
Great, now you're going to have diarrhea and shitting through a screen door.
Yeah, that's okay.
But anyway, let's get back on focus here. So usually I start the podcast off by telling who I am, which I'm Todd Nicely. I was a wounded veteran in Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and I lost my arms and legs. But there's a couple foundations that I usually throw out there at the beginning in case people want to donate that I absolutely adore. And one of them is Warfighter Engaged. They build rigs for guys that want to play video games again. And then there is the Semper Fi Fund, which they give to not only Marines, I know it says Semper Fi, but they give to Marine, Army, Navy, donations, things that, help people out. And then there's Tunnels to Towers, which builds homes for wounded veterans like myself. There's the Gary Sinise Foundation, which also does the same thing. And then there's Joshua Chamberlain Society, which is near and dear to my heart. And I'll tell you why. Because Joshua Chamberlain Society is kind of like a family organization. These guys don't just come about and send you on your way after they go on a fishing trip. They're actually in your life forever. And I feel like if people were to emulate a more like this out in society, there'd be a lot more veterans taken care of. And I have the CEO of Joshua Chamberlain Society here with us, Matt Cutler.
Hey, Todd, great to be here. Thank you very much. And those are very kind words. I'll tell you what, the people at JCSO really find that being here with you on this journey is more rewarding, I think, than even you get out of it. So it's a great two-way street. We get to hang out with American heroes, and you get to have the benefit of it. So.
Oh, I missed that segue. I was gonna tell him every time you say the word hero, you got to take a shot. This could have been interesting. He could have been really drunk by the time he left here. I know it's too late now. It's too late now. But go ahead, Matt, and tell us a little bit more about Joshua Chamberlain Society and let people know what you guys do.
Yeah, so Joshua Chamberlain Society, we call it JCS, is a not-for-profit 501c3. We are almost entirely volunteer organization. We're in 3 different cities. We're in St. Louis, Nashville, and Houston. Well over 90% of the funds that are raised go to the now 20. I guess it's 27 across all 3 chapters. JCS brothers and sisters that we help out. I won't use the H word if I can help it.
Yeah, you'll be taking a shot.
Yeah, we typically call him the H word, but Todd hates it when I call him that. But he is. Anyway, what we do really is kind of, where the government falls short, where humanity falls short, where we can give back to the wounded veterans who have sacrificed so much on our behalves. We just try to help out. I mean, we've helped you, Todd, out with you're making sure you get back to your wheelchair rugby. We've been a sponsor of the rugby team. Gosh, I can go on and on. But there's financial aid we give. There's the network of JCS supporters that have helped out, whether it's lawyers or accountants or financial planners. There's many different ways that we can help out, and certainly if anybody's interested, we'd love to hear from you. Our website is chamberlainsociety.org. There's a mailing list on there. You can read about Todd and all the other men and women that we support, and it's just been a fun run. It's really a family, and it's amazing to me, Todd. 12 years after you joined JCS, I mean, it's just been fantastic. I never would have thought that we'd be buddies and have all the laughs that we've had over the years, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you're like the first guest on When Does the Fuckery End? So
I'm honored.
That's awesome.
That's a big deal. I mean, if this kicks off, you're the first golden guest on When Does the Fuckery End?
I love it.
So, what were you gonna say, Kyle?
Actually, I didn't have anything.
I seen you rear up. So
I did. I was just.
I was like, he's getting ready to say something, and then I jumped in. I shouldn't have done that. So anyway, Matt, I know that you guys have been doing this, but what made you want to decide to start the Joshua Chamberlain Society?
Yeah, so I never served. I'm really thankful to you two for your service, but I did not serve. And so when 9/11 happened, and then you saw things going, all the heated battles of Iraq and then later Afghanistan. It was really or Afghanistan and later Iraq. It was really to me a way to serve myself. We just get together a group of folks who were like-minded in that, and we just decided, hey, let's figure out a way to help out. What needs to be done? And what we decided was there are a lot of organizations that do very good work, but they're there for you for a moment, like you mentioned in your opening, or they're there for you, in the first months that you got hurt. And our goal was, hey, let's be more of a family. Let's take that, you're still going to be, it's 12 years since your injuries, you still don't have any arms and legs. And in a lot of those other organizations that touched you, the spoiler alert for those on the seen a video.
On the other end, if you haven't seen me, I don't have arms and legs.
Man, I was banking on starfish syndrome,
Maybe.
That's great. But we just decided, hey, let's, you're going to be with your injuries for the rest of your life, so we want to be with you for the rest of your life. So that's what we do. We raise money both for the moment, but also for savings. So when big things come up and we can help out. I know you hate it when we help you out that way, but it's something that the St. Louis community and here for you and the other JCS brothers and sisters in the other parts of the country, there's a great patriotic populace that wants to help you out, and it's been great to be able to do that.
And for me, that's a big thing. And I've gone to a lot of the events for JCS, and you know that. But it's good for the people to see who they're helping and when they're helping and who, like I said, who they're helping, and for us to give a thanks to them because, a lot of these places they donate to people and they don't even know where their money's going.
Yeah, they see nothing.
But with the JCS, they get to see faces, they get to see people, they get to see who they're helping. It's kind of like that Adopt a Kid program, over in Africa.
I'm pretty sure they can. I'm pretty sure sometimes they can buy a date, can't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I got bought.
Yeah.
I don't even know when that date's supposed to happen, but it's gonna. I'm sure. They did auction me off. Yes, I was bought. It was kind of like sex slavery. It wasn't my idea.
That was exactly what it was.
Definitely was my idea. But they do a lot to raise money for guys. And like I said, if there was a lot more organizations out there that emulated the way you guys do things, we'd be in a lot better place. And I appreciate that, and thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
So we're going to get this program started now, and I'm going to start it off with, we're going to start a new segment called 3 Questions.
Yes. 2 truths and a lie, or 2 lies and a truth, right?
No, not 2 lies and a truth. It's called 3 questions.
3 questions.
And the category is state capitals.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
So our
our
guest has to answer 3 questions, and if he doesn't, every time he's wrong, he takes a shot. And if he's right, then I take a shot.
I love it.
So here we go. What is the capital of Vermont?
Oh. Now, Vermont is an easy one for me.
Oh, why? Tell us why.
My biggest client is
This is going to suck. I'm taking a shot now.
Montpelier.
I thought that was going to be a hard one.
I hope he listens to this. My good buddy Rick Musgrave with Husky Injection Molding out of Burlington, Vermont area. I fly into Vermont at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Great.
So now I'm fucked. So what is it?
Montpelier.
Oh, fuck. So I'm taking a shot. God, I thought that was going to be a hard one. I was driving today and I was like trying to think of the capital of Vermont, and I'm going, I have no idea. He's not going to know that.
Oh, shoot.
Just to let everybody know, it is definitely Screwball.
Screwball again. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to be drunk by the end of this. Let's go with the capital of California.
Oh, no, that's easy, too.
Oh.
So my daughter was just...
Oh, God, he's got an excuse for everything.
My daughter's roommate... We were just up at her
I should have
college.
said, I gave him an easy. I gave him a toss-up.
We were just at my daughter's college for junior parents weekend.
I'll give him the
I
next
met her
one. Yeah,
roommate,
you get the next one.
who's from Sacramento, California.
That's fucking... I'm getting drunk. I thought I was going to get you drunk.
Okay. 3rd one.
Oh, boy.
Rhode Island. I don't know this one, so I'm going to have to look this up.
Oh, my God. I think
I do. I know
You're
this
so-
one.
Okay, you got.
I'm gonna go with Providence, Rhode Island.
God damn it!
I'll take the shot because I gave the question.
Thank you, because
Yeah,
I don't think I could do 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do one because you gave me 3 easy ones. I happen to know all. I mean,
Yeah,
this is what-
who would have thought you knew Vermont?
Vermont's, I go to Vermont all the time.
Like,
I
I
feel-
should have said fucking New Hampshire.
I got to tell you, I knew none of those.
Like, Vermont. Who would have thought this guy flies to Vermont all the time?
Yep.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Right, that was the one in my head that I was like, I'm going to get him on this one.
My client Rick is coming to town next week. We're gonna have a laugh over this.
I hope so, because I'm going to be drunk
Skull?
over this.
Let's go.
Skull. Thank you for taking that one for me, producer. You're fired.
Oh, you'll hire me again.
Yeah, you're always hired. You know that.
I love it.
So, let's talk a little bit about...
Actually, I want to know what number is Todd? Because I know you do one every year, right?
We do. We do take on one new brother or sister every year, on average. Sometimes, like COVID, because our fundraising was down, we skipped the year.
That's insane.
There are a couple of years that we took 2 for just happened to be introduced to 2 folks that really, kind of needed us to get involved at that point in time. So we've done a couple, but really we've been around for almost for a little over 15, for up to 15 years, and we have 15 JCS brothers and sisters.
So what number was Todd?
Todd was number 3.
I
And
thought
the
it was number
first
3.
Marine.
First
And the
Marine.
first Marine.
Yeah.
Actually, believe it or not, we'll talk about this. Randy Soriano, who is also part of JCS, was a 2-2 veteran, just like I was. I was from 2-2. That was the unit we were in.
Oh, really?
And so when I got injured, Lieutenant Colonel Tomko is one of the guys that got a hold of him, and they were like, hey, he's like, we're brethren, and we're going to do this. Lieutenant Colonel Tomko is the guy who actually called Randy, or Randy called him, vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was on his way to tell my parents that I had been injured severely, they had that phone call.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, we are going to take care of this guy if he makes it.
Awesome.
So it's been a joyride. I was very skittish at the beginning because I had been ripped off by a couple of foundations.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And so the reason I knew that I wanted to be with this foundation was because he actually took time out of his day on a Halloween day to come over to my aunt's house to introduce himself and sat there and talked with me for a very long time.
That's amazing.
That was Randy. Do you remember when we first met?
I don't.
So when we first met, was the Gary Sinise Foundation and Tunnels for Towers were we're building a house for you, as you know. I'm telling for the listeners, we're building a house down in Lake of the Ozarks. It was a beautiful 3-story place down on the lake because that's where Todd and his wife wanted to be. Anyway, they did a ribbon cutting ceremony, and I was invited. Because we had, at that point you had talked to Randy and you had agreed to become part of JCS, and there was a bus that they hired to bring your family down to the thing, and I was invited to jump on. So I was on the bus with your grandparents and your brothers and sisters, people that have now become great 12 years later, good friends of ours, and but I didn't know any of them at the time, and I just was trying to be circumspect. I didn't. And so, he was just the third guy that we were bringing in. We were young, we didn't have much of a reputation back then. Thankfully, that's grown in a great way. But I get there to the house, and he is completely overwhelmed by people. I mean, they literally had news crews there, and they had on and on. And so,
Listen, I was getting staged in areas. They're like, stand here. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, they told me I couldn't hang pictures in my house at the very beginning because they're like, we don't want the news crew seeing the pictures. Like, fuck you, this is my house. I'm hanging up pictures. I had my whole shit set up.
Good.
So he goes, I literally sit to the side. I never met him the entire day. I never met him.
Really?
I just decided, listen. And then at the very end of it, all the crowds leave, and all that's left are his family, really, the same people on the bus. And they brought some sandwiches and whatever. I didn't even have a sandwich. I was just off to the side. I didn't want to interrupt now, like the family time moment.
Yeah, of course.
So I took the bus all the way to Lake of the Ozarks. Watched the whole ceremony, which was really inspiring. Saw him get just inundated with guests and news crews and whatnot. Sat in the corner while his family and him had lunch together, and then got back on the bus and went home. Never even mentioned one time.
Yeah, I never even seen you.
Yeah.
I can't even remember Chef Boy O'Mary's. You want to talk about Chef Boy O'Mary's?
So one of the things that we love doing is getting together. You know, I love getting together with Todd. It's always laughs. And the ideas that come out, I think this podcast may have come out of one of those dinners.
Yeah, it did.
Over at Cyber's.
Our podcast actually, we were going to talk about that. Our podcast actually came out on my birthday. We went to see a naughty puppet show. And it was weird, man. It was definitely weird.
You enjoyed it though, didn't you?
But it was a Broadway
It's a Broadway show. It's called Avenue Q.
Yeah, Avenue Q.
Kind of like Sesame Street. It's
Okay.
Avenue
But it's
Q.
Sesame Street with sex.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
funny.
So it was great. But we were like, he was like, you could do something like this. I was like, I definitely can.
Okay.
And it was fill me in.
Yeah. So,
Go.
well, first of all, so that's just one the brainstorming that happens at our Cyberg's beer sessions is legendary. But anyway, the Chef Boy O'Mary.
Chef Boy O'Mary's. Chef Boy O'Mary's. Okay, I'm going to talk about Chef Boy O'Mary's. So we were talking one day, and I said, you know what? The best way to cure a hangover is to pour some vodka in this fucking goddamn SpaghettiOs, and you fucking get nutrition, and you're getting a Bloody Mary, so you're getting your food.
Okay.
So we decided to meet up before the gala to have a
Before the
Chef Boy
gala.
O'Mary.
Yeah, we're gonna have one Chef Boy O'Mary apiece before the gala just to get
One Chef
ready.
Boy O'Mary for the thing. Well, guess what happened? We
What?
showed up and I said, I'm not doing it. He goes, I'm not either.
From the moment he walks out, I'll never forget. He's walking in the gala, you know, all dressed ready for a fun night, or whatever. And he's got a look of fear on his face, and he goes, "You didn't bring that Chef Boy O'Mary, did you?" I said, "Hell no, I didn't bring that."
I was like, I ain't doing that shit, man.
Yeah, I was just saying, did you guys really do that? I mean,
No,
I don't
fuck
think,
no.
I don't think I could do that.
I was like,
Fuck that
nutrition
shit.
and vodka all at the same time? This would be
I
great.
thought that the way that came up was weird because your brother Ryan was there,
Yeah.
and you were staying at his house at the time. You're like, this dude is
Yeah.
a bastard. He's got nothing in his house. He's got freaking vodka and Chef Boy O'Mary. He's like, all I can do. Ty goes, the only thing I can do with that is make myself a Bloody Mary in the middle of the morning. A Chef Boy O'Mary. Oh, Boy O'Mary.
Oh, goodness.
Trademarked, by the way. But yeah, that's the way my life kind of goes right about now, you know. I have fun. I have people around me that support me, and that's the best thing. And I just watched a TikTok today, which really, I talked to you about
Yeah,
it.
you told me to remind you about it.
Some guy was talking about combat action ribbon and all of his ribbons.
Mm.
And he said to the people, hey, if you earn one of these, we'll be there for you. So I want to start a TikTok to where we all raise our badges, everything that we've got, and say, I'm there for you.
Love it.
You know why? Because the only people that support veterans are veterans. And the only people that care for veterans are veterans. And I'm obviously not
Present
making a
company
stand
excluded.
on your foundation,
Right.
but
What's
to
your party?
truly understand a veteran, you have to be a veteran.
The only people who can truly understand what you guys have gone through is you. I feel uncomfortable sometimes when things come up based on what's happened with your service, whatnot, and I'm not worthy to even be part of that conversation. You've had some, we've had discussions in the past. Where I'm like, man, let me get Staff Sergeant Jay Vermillion Marine involved. You talk to him, he'll be able to get he'll be able to be a sounding board for you. That's, I think, the better way to do it, because you're right, I can't help you guys out. Oh dear.
So what's your second favorite Todd Nicely story? Because
I
I've
can't
already
tell you
talked
my
about my first.
Yeah.
You already told about the barn
The
story?
rope, yeah.
Yeah, we already
talked
told us
about
about. I think that was the second episode.
that. Yeah, second
Second
episode.
episode.
So refer to second episode if you want to hear the barn story.
Oh, the barn
So what's
story.
your second favorite Todd Nicely?
Well, I'll tell you what. The second favorite. Can I tell the first one really quick, and then I'll do the second
Yeah,
one?
you can tell them either way you want.
Because
You're our
in
guest.
case somebody didn't listen to the second.
Okay,
first one.
you're our guest.
So this son of a bitch, him and his brothers get into the barn. They're in the 2-level barn. If you picture a barn that's got an upper level, and every
Horse
barn's
barns.
got that window up there, where you can throw the hay up there in the horse barn, and there's a rope up there. And Todd's brothers said, "Hey, jackass, grab that rope, and you'll be Superman. You can jump out the top window and then swing into the barn, and it'll be great."
Obviously, science says that's not going to happen.
Well,
Yes, science.
nicely, brothers 1, 2, and 3. Nobody measured the rope. He took that rope, ran out the window, and went on the ground. The rope was too long. That's what
I'm assuming you just grabbed the end of the rope.
Yeah, I grabbed the end of the rope and I took off running and I went.
You know what that rope normally
Right
is
on top
for?
of a rusty spring mattress, actually, by the way.
Oh. Why was that in front of the barn?
I don't know.
Let me
There's
catch
a
him.
barn
Let me
in the
catch him
middle of
just in
nowhere,
case.
man.
Love it.
Don't ask questions about what happens in the fucking
You
night.
know what that
happens
rope
to the
was
barn
for,
stays in the
right?
barn.
Right, what happens in the barn stays in the barn.
So my second favorite story, I'm gonna have to have you tell it because
No,
your
you tell
company.
it.
Well, I certainly wasn't there, but I love hearing the story about how I'm gonna tell the general parameters. Hopefully, Todd will pick up and give you the details. But he said
I'll pick up when he misses something.
you're in Afghanistan and you're there's a sniper out in the distance somewhere. They're ping, ping, little here and there, and everybody and you kind of down a little bit. Nobody wants to get up because they don't want to take one in the melon. So Todd goes, "Hey, I'm gonna make a run for it, and you sons of bitches better point out where that son of a bitch is when I run for it." And so this. I mean, that's freaking hilarious. He just goes, takes off out of his bunker, starts zigzagging across this field. The sniper sees him, starts shooting at him. Boom, boom, boom. Todd somehow avoids getting hit, dives over the freaking bunker, and hides, yells, "Hey, did you find him?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got him." Boom, blows him.
The only reason this guy knows this story is because I've told it to him 100 times.
You know, I've never heard that story, actually.
I've
That's
never heard
pretty
that story?
No, that's a pretty awesome
You
story.
never heard this story?
No, I've never.
Oh
You've
my
never
god,
told me.
man. Sniper Man was not happy with me.
No, I mean, I'm assuming he died. So.
I was running across that field and just ting, 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 right by my feet. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to die today.
But you didn't.
I didn't. You're correct.
No, sir. No, sir. Guys, that's. I mean, those are the stories. So then you fast forward to the Cyberg's beer. I call them, brain mind meld times where these ideas are coming up. I think that's where the podcast idea came up.
No, the podcast came up from fucking...
Oh, from that's right. From
the Muppet thing.
Avenue.
Yes.
And actually, he was the one who came up with the fucking idea of when does the fuckery end.
But didn't you say when
we
does
were-
stupidity?
I said stupidity. The
He
fuck-
said stupidity,
Yeah.
but I was
Yeah.
like, when does the fuckery end?
Yeah, exactly. And that's
And
perfect.
that's 100%. So we're gonna call it a day.
Are you sure? It's pretty early.
Pretty early. What else?
mean-
you want? Oh, we can do Would You Rather.
Yeah, would you rather?
Would you rather?
Well, now let me ask you something about this. Would you rather? Is this? I mean, I heard this in episode 2. Is this like a thing that you guys did in the military?
Yes. Okay. So he's got a good point. So Would You Rather is something that we did in the military. We'd be on patrol, and my guys would be like, "Would you rather?" And they would say some names, and then you'd be like, "Fuck you." But either way, they'd be like, "Would you rather?" And there was also Mary Kill, and I can't remember the third one.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, then I've got a pretty simple one. It's really easy. We're going to start easy.
Kicked off TikTok.
No, we're not going to do that because we're not on TikTok. Would you rather either be attacked by a wolf or be bit by 4 cows?
That's a trick question. Do cows have teeth?
Yes, they have teeth.
Yeah, they got molars, man.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Okay,
I'm gonna go-
1 minute each. 1 minute each.
One
No,
minute.
not even 1 minute, because we don't got time for that. Hurry.
No,
No,
you
no,
said
no.
the biting. I'm going to go
Under
with the cows.
You're going to go with the cows? Okay.
That'll probably hurt.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'll punch a wolf in the face.
So you're going with the wolf.
I'm going with the wolf.
Oh, I didn't know he could do self-defense.
Well, that's your problem.
I can outrun those cows.
That's your problem. You should have thought about that.
I know.
Before you answered.
I know.
You know? He didn't give no fucking
There's no caveats.
self-defense.
I love it.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, so then now it's my turn for
Yeah,
Would
go
You
for it.
Rather, and then next is your turn.
It's a better thing.
I'm ready.
So,
And
would you
does.
rather eat a can of tuna and open it with your teeth, or I'm frozen. Lick a dog's balls.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to say tuna.
Tuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Tuna.
I ran out of space.
You should have said, was
I
it?
ran out of space. I didn't have nothing to compare it to.
I'm
you-
going to let Kyle go second
you-
time. He's going to take mine.
No, I would say you should have said eat a bird raw.
No, I ran out of space on my shit. Okay.
Okay, I apologize.
I went blank. I never go blank.
Your hard drive ran out of.
I think it's the shots from the fucking goddamn fucking capital
You
shit.
should have picked Harder States.
No, I thought I was gonna win.
But let me go back to the
Harder States? Who knows the goddamn capital of New Hampshire?
Concord. That's where the Revolutionary War started.
Oh, but you know that for some reason. Like, you flew there. That's bullshit. That's like the first one no one knows.
Todd, we're
We're
simple military people. We don't have that kind of memory for that kind of stuff.
Right, but to know the fucking capital of New Hampshire?
Okay,
well, might as well live there.
What about this? Name all the provinces of Canada.
Oh boy, I don't even know that shit.
Oh,
yeah, because I thought there was like only 5.
Yeah,
so.
there's like 10 of them.
No, there's 5. Manitoba, I know it's 1. Saskatchewan, there's 2. Fuck Canada. Quebec. Why are we doing this shit?
Quebec? Yeah.
No, fuck
Quebec,
Canada.
Yeah.
I do love Canada.
No, fuck Canada. I love Canada
right now.
Listen, I love Canada, but fuck Canada right now. I don't know their fucking provinces. Listen,
take all my cash out of my bank account.
Listen,
you should
and take it.
Listen, I play a lot of video games with a lot of Canadians. And I always tell them, don't you want to move to America? They're like, fuck no, I want my free health care.
Free? That's just that.
That's their fucking reason.
It's not free and it's not good. I mean,
no.
That's right.
Nothing around here is free or good.
Yep. If it's free, it's not good.
Hey, one more quick thing on the name of the thing. When we talked about when will the stupidity end, of course, it's been changed to a much better when will the fuckery end. The reason why that came up was because all those funny stories of the stupidity back then.
Okay.
And then we would sit at dinner. I'm like, "What'd you do last week?" He'd tell me another one. I'm like, "Todd, when will the stupidity end?" And then that was where it all came out.
I agree. Like, I hear stories all the time. I think we get 100 episodes in and never repeat a story easily.
No, easily. I could tell a story about the time I was in my wheelchair and tried to jump some steps.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
We'll save that for another episode.
I'm actually I want to know a little bit about Matt.
Yeah, what's up with you?
I'm just a normal dude. I'm a normal dude.
From Missouri or Missouri?
Get the hell out of here. You're not a normal dude. You hang out with me.
That's true. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
I went to college and met my lovely bride who was from St. Louis. So after college, I moved. I worked for a couple years in Chicago after we graduated, and then I came down here to law school.
Okay.
And at Washington University, and so I was down here for 3 years. Really liked it. Got a job, and I've been here now longer than I ever was in Chicago. So,
do you enjoy it more in St. Louis?
Yeah, he's a Blackhawks fan. Fuck him.
Oh man.
I'll tell you what, I do. Listen, I do enjoy St. Louis more than Chicago now. For the same reasons why I don't like, the way Canada's acting right now. Chicago's not the town that I grew up in, and it's unfortunate how things have deteriorated there. But no, I love it in St. Louis. I do retain, to Todd's besmirching of my character here. I am retaining my Chicago.
You know what?
roots.
Hey, hold on. Let me say this. This guy was a Chicago fucking Blackhawks fan, but yet he took the time to make his charity for the St. Louis Blues.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, but I became a huge Blues fan through all that. The Blues organization is a phenomenal organization. They love the military, from the Canadian players to the American players to the Russian players. They've rallied around the JCS heroes. I'm going to say it one time so I can do one shot.
Yep, you're done.
One shot.
But they rallied around them, and I love the Blues. I celebrated the Blues Stanley Cup with everybody else because I really have become a big fan of that charity because of how great they
Well, like I said,
that organization.
He's a big Chicago Blackhawk fan. And he actually, with the organization, made a lot of money through the Blues. So that's why, I fuck with him all the time. Because I'm like, dude, you're Chicago, get out of here.
Yeah. It's a good rivalry.
It's fun. But the way that he made it happen is absolutely phenomenal.
It's been a fun journey. We grew from five guys who came together to try to help out severely wounded military combat injured service members from OEF and OIF. And here we are 15 years later, and I get to call this guy one of my best buddies, and the journey has been more my win than theirs, but I appreciate that they appreciated what we're doing as well.
Okay, so with that, we're going to wrap it up.
Wait.
What do you got?
Todd's memory's going out, but mine isn't.
Oh,
you
shit.
have not done Would You Rather.
Would you rather? We made
No?
him do the question.
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Would you rather in the question thing are different things?
That's fair. That's fair.
We can't differentiate the two.
Good deal. That was fun, guys. Thank you for having me on. I was honored to be the first third-person guest on your show.
Yeah, you're the first third-person guest on our show, and thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you had fun, and we'll catch you later, folks.
Actually, on the last note, how can they get a hold of you again? Or JCS, donate, just for the last time.
Well, I'll tell you what, our website again is chamberlainsociety.org, and you can send an email to info at chamberlainsociety.org. We'll love to bring everybody in. I mean, I'll say one more thing about JCS. It started partially when I first decided to do this. We had reached out, I personally had reached out to like Wounded Warrior Foundation and other places trying to volunteer. And, back then, Bill O'Reilly on Fox News was giving 10% of his book sales to Wounded Warrior, and they just didn't want to have anything to do with me. And so I eventually said, I'm going to start something of my own. And I gathered some guys together. So I've always remembered that when Wounded Warrior Foundation didn't want to have anything to do with me because I was just some schmo from St. Louis.
God bless you.
We'll be there. We'll be there. Just we want you involved. We'll take everybody with both arms open. So come and help us out.
God bless you.
Thanks, brother.
And just to let everybody know, you can get a hold of Todd Nicely on TikTok, Twitch, and on Facebook and Twitter at NoLimbs0311.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys have a good night.
See ya.